Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Trade Ideas live trading room for Friday, April the 26th. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. Quick sound check, please. Excellent. All right, let's see what's happening this morning. So Intel had earnings, and it's probably going to put a bit of a damper on the tech stocks. Release earnings after hours yesterday. There's the mauve area. You can see the reaction after hours, and it's continued this morning. The tan area is the pre-market. So looking at WDC had a downgrade. Same sector, of course, so keep an eye on this one, WDC. I almost got into this one in the pre-market, RBZ. I was waiting, I was looking at it right there, see if it would take this out. RBC, gapping up again. No real news. I mean, they had the news yesterday, I guess, announcing the exercise of the over-allotment for their financing, but see what happens, see if it takes out the pre-market high at some point. Now, Ford has earnings, and they released earnings after hours yesterday. Now, typically, I don't trade these ones with the big float, 3.9 billion in the float, but I do remember the last time Ford had earnings, and it just kept moving all day. I'm not saying it's going to happen again, but it does have room. And I remember the last time it moved about 50, 60 cents, which, you know, $10 stock, that would be excellent. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on Ford to see if it can maintain this 10 level anyway. There's a 200-day moving average right up there, 1172 for Ford. Mattel gapped up on earnings also. Again, earnings released after hours yesterday. Of note, almost 50% of the float is short. So a lot of people betting against Mattel. So we'll see if there's some covering today based on the. I mean, it's not up 91 cents. I mean, that's a big percentage move, but we'll have to see once the market opens, see what it does. Yeah, I'm not saying, you know, pile into Ford. I'm just saying, I remember I usually have a bias against these high float situations, Ford being one of them, but I do remember last time it just kept moving and moving. I'm not saying it's going to happen this time, of course, but I'm not going to be as biased as I was last time. Shutterfly, Superfly, SFLY, earnings play. Nice gap up. Boy, this one does not want to quit. eHealth, another earnings play. It's almost at an all-time high, 70 cents from an all-time high for eHealth, another earnings play. And our friend, Pinterest, I mean, just will not quit. What a great IPO so far. Just keeps moving higher and higher. Old name company, man, obviously fallen on hard times. Briggs & Stratton, for those of you who are old enough to remember lawnmowers, I don't know if they're still in the business, but they used to be the name in lawnmowers, their engines anyway. So anyway, earnings play. Look at this. I mean, if it takes this out right here, which it has, I don't think there's any support. When I first saw it, it was up here, but I mean, there's the 1125, I think, is right there. 1134 is the low right there. So it's 1136. Below that weekly candle is right there. What a disaster. It's an all-time, basically an all-time low. Yeah, they may, but I don't know. Maybe they're not selling many. I don't know. And let's see, CTRM, another gap up. Don't see any specific reason for it. CTRM. A lot of low float, 810 million in the float, not very much volume yet. Sorry, 810,000 in the float. Not very much volume yet, but definitely a nice gap up. Yeah, I saw the OGEN. I also see a lot of resistance right about here, around just around that 90 cent mark. I know I see Wainwright initiates coverage on it. It's a low float, a lot of volume. I typically don't get too involved in these ones that are under $1 until they break $1. So that's why I'm kind of shying away from it. But I see a lot of resistance not that far away. Now, Zayo was up. Let me see if it's still up. Yeah, it's not up as much. It popped up here. Always a little skeptical. I shouldn't say skeptical. I'm not saying this is a sketchy company or anything like that, but they were selected by a quote unquote a transportation company for integrated solution. The unnamed company. Always a little bit skeptical about that. So anyway, that's why Zayo was up. And when I say skeptical, I don't mean that it's not true. Just I always wonder why the company why they will not allow them to be named. TAM. This gapped up also. And I see Oppenheimer initiates coverage on them, so that's probably the reason for the gap up for TM. RHE probably just showing up now. Let me see. Yeah, there it is, RHE. It's just gapping up now, RHE. Yeah, I don't see any specific reason for it. Obviously this was a high flyer earlier this week. That was on the 22nd, so that would have been on, I guess that would have been Monday. So for the reason it popped up, so, traders are probably trying to get back into it right now. 221, I mean, if this would have been Tuesday's high around 224, maybe stick an alert around there. It's almost there. Low float situation, of course, 1.5 million in the float. I agree, Martin. As long as they don't, have some. You'd wonder after a lift. I mean, I don't know. It's just because they're exactly the same company, basically, but you wonder after a lift if that's going to happen. Here's another one that has just come back a long way. Silk. Look at this one. I mean, this what a run it's had. There's the IPO that week. It's pretty successful right off the bat, and then all of a sudden it started giving it up all the way down to 30. Hit a high of I think 30, almost 38 yesterday. Sony. Here's a big float. Sony is gapping up here actually. Sort of looking at Grub. I think Grub is an earnings play. I see, this looks like pretty decent resistance, not that far away on a percentage basis for Grub. That's why I kind of shied away from it. Oh, I have no entry. You mean if I were to get in it? Not in it now. Again, I have to wait for the market to open. I mean, it's already below 1134 is the low of that weekly candle. So we're already at a lifetime low. Well, okay, it's I guess 1150. It's at 1150 right now. So I wanted to take that out right there, 1134. It takes that out with, as we'll call it, conviction. It has no support. So it's just a matter of waiting for the market to open. So I'll stick an alert, around 1127. But again, it's one of these situations where I won't take it right on the open, even if it hits there. I just shy away from doing that. I'll miss out on things that just keep going in that first 15 minutes, but so be it. What I'd love to see happen is for it to just kind of, stay around this area for the first 5-10 minutes, and then if it wants to move down below that 1134, especially if it gets some volume, there's no support. It's that simple. It's a lifetime low. Now it could bounce, of course, but it's not a big float either. 41 million in the float. 11% is short. All right, let me see what sort of upgrades and downgrades we have this morning. I have a very happy dog to see me. No, I see the upgrade. Yeah, Goldman, actually. Yeah. So it's a Goldman upgrade for MDCO. All right, there are some of the upgrades. The RBZ is getting close to taking out the pre-market high. 837, I believe, is the pre-market high. Get the downgrades in now. A lot of downgrades. Let's see. Oh, okay. RHE just triggered for me. When I say triggered, I have a price alert. Just keep going on these downgrades right now. Take a look to see what happened with RHE. A few more to go. All right, there are some of the upgrades and downgrades brought to you by briefing.com. So there's BGG. I mean, it's starting already, man. Just wish it would hold off just, just a bit here. The spread is tough though. I mean, it's hard to commit right now. I mean, it's 11:02, 11:25. So meanwhile, RHE, yeah, there it goes. RHE. I'm going to keep an eye on Eventbrite also today. I want to see if this has a continuation. No volume yet. Welcome to the room, Crystal. Yeah, RHE definitely in liftoff mode right now. Keep an eye on the RBZ. If it takes out that pre-market high, another 9 minutes before the market opens, there's the pre-market high right there, about 839-ish. No, we don't record. I mean, it's 7 hours long price, so we don't record them. Yeah, no volume yet for this one, but this is a nice gap up actually, but there's no volume yet for NSSC. If this continues, oh, this is a lifetime high also. Yeah, I saw that, read that Amazon Prime going to a 1-day delivery. I mean, is it really necessary? SWN earnings play. SWN, big float for a $4 stock, over $500 million in the float. Yeah, the spread is tightening up a little bit for BJJ. I mean, this could be an all-dayer though. I mean, it literally could be an all-dayer, a lifetime high. Obviously, therefore, no support. It's a pretty low float too, 41 million in the float. Hey guys, take that to off topic, okay? Just kind of keep it to stocks and the stocks only. I also saw American Airlines has earnings, so American Airlines might put a bit of a, let's see, what is UAL doing? So the airlines could be a little bit weak today off American Airlines earnings. I don't see any specific news today for RHE. I think the news was on Monday, and now it's just kind of continuation. You know, it rested a bit. Well, rested. It actually had a big pullback, huge pullback. I mean, it hit almost $4 on Monday. Pulled all the way down to 150. You know, traders are just piling in. I don't see any specific reason for it today. These things just go in cycles, guys, you know, it's just one of those things. Yeah, yesterday's little darling NBEV starting to fade now. All right, I'm going to get rid of these two and bring in my gappers. By the way, guys, the marketing meeting yesterday, something that I've been wishing and hoping for, they're going to be discontinuing the 3 hollies. We're just going to have the 1 holly again. When that happens, I'm not exactly sure, but that is the plan. Well, they're all going to be I mean, I don't know what they're going to call it, but I mean, it's probably just back to Holy Grail. It doesn't necessarily mean, all that really means is that instead of having 3 separate hollies, there'll be just 1. Doesn't mean there'll be any less alerts necessarily. It just means they'll all be in 1 window. Well, that's what I've wanted, at least the option to have that. Because I honestly don't see, I mean, you know, to try to differentiate between the 3 hollies anymore, I don't think it's valid, to be honest. So yeah, but I don't see that there was such a big difference. The ticker of a chart. Okay, are you talking about PVM? Are you talking about when I click on a symbol, it changes? Okay, so all I have to do is, no, you left click the chart and then just start typing, okay? So when you left click the chart, I mean, all that's doing is just making, so telling TI that that's the active chart, and then just start typing and the box should pop up and then hit enter or on your keyboard or change. Pinterest. Pinterest just keeps moving higher here. Here's the high of yesterday, so it's taken out the high of yesterday. Looks like it's, well, not a hard call to make. Looks like it's going to challenge 30. Western Digital, WDC, just trying to crack under 50 here. It has some downgrades for WDC. Probably a lot to do with Intel. Also, Intel's earnings weak. At least the reaction is weak right now. There it goes. INTC, big float, of course, $4.5 billion in the float. All right, we have 1 minute to open, less than a minute to open, 45 seconds. So, well, let's have a great end to this trading week, guys. And remember, a week Monday is when the test drive starts. So if you want to sign up for it right now, subscriptions, right there, click on the subscriptions link, sign up for the test drive. There's the link. 5 full trading days of trade ideas for $8.99. And that's with our premium service. So again, when you sign up now, you're basically pre-registering, all right? You won't get data until the 6th. All right, we are now open. Maybe in May, the Uber. There's Intel gapping down already. Meanwhile, Lyft continues down. This is almost its all-time low. In fact, that looks like it 55, 56. Yeah, this is now all-time low now. Of course, it's an IPO from 3 weeks ago. Okay, so Mattel is starting to give it up a little bit here. MAT, Mattel. Pinterest almost at 30. Yeah, that's because of an order imbalance. It's not because of volatility for BGG. Look at the spread now, 1066, 1107. Okay, FTI is an earnings play. This is trying to gap up a little bit. You can see, wow, if it takes this out right here, not that, well, 25.59. I'm going to stick an alert. 25.59, the high of that weekly candle, the high of that weekly candle. If it takes that out, there's a lot of room. There goes pins, guys. PINS over 30. Well, there's lift. Wow. Cash. I saw cash in the pre-market. It's an earnings play. Cash is an earnings play. Right at the 200-day moving average, 24.56. It's literally right at it. Even cash pops through that 200-day moving average. A little bit of resistance around 25, though. Well, here's BGG. Well, Sylvie. Again, for those of you a little more aggressive than I am, I mean, that was something you could have looked at right away. I do see MBRX. A thumbnail in the bottom right-hand corner, some volume coming in. Okay, I'm just trying to adjust this so I can see right there. We go. That's what I wanted to see. Come on. No. RHE, wow, breaking 3 now. BITA, wow, BITA. I mean, this is the yeah, this is China. And what a breakdown here for BITA underneath all the weekly. Okay, RHE. I mean, I'd love to take it, but guys, here's another, wow, another strong IPO. The volume is not great yet, but TPTX, another very strong IPO. Double click? There's no double click to zoom as far as I know. You have to hold down the control key on your keyboard. So you left click the chart to make it active and then hold the control key down on your keyboard, and then with your scroll wheel on your mouse, that's how you zoom. Whoa, look at CGC here. Maybe a little charge. Let's see what MJ is doing. Yeah, a little charge in the cannabis sector here. But not NBEV. All right, so RHE, it's been a little erratic here. If it takes up that 314. Okay, so look at BGG. I mean, wow. I mean, I take down to 1013, a big pop up to 1084. Okay, now let's see if it can sort of settle a little bit and give us a nice move down. CTRM, guys, mentioned this in the pre-market. CTRM on the move here, low float situation. Again, I don't see any specific reason for it being up, but so look at the SPY. You know, this, what are we, yesterday? This is exactly what happened to the SPY yesterday. First candle was really, really big red candle down. Then we had a great recovery. So some of these earnings plays that were up in the pre-market starting to fade a little bit here. SF Shutterfly, SFLY. Well, CTRM, man, it is just in rip mode here. I've got a low float, 810,000 in the float. Cash is king. Look at cash. This is another earnings play. I saw this in the pre-market. It didn't have very much volume, but volume has picked up. Cash. And, oh, I remember now. It was sitting right on top of the 200-day moving average. Literally right on top of it. So now it has broken through the 200-day. So the next level, 25.64, takes that out. Still has some room. It's not that terrible. I mean, you know, to start off the day, 11-cent spread. Well, now it's a little worse. Wow, CTRM. No news. Volume is just starting to pick up. BITA, BITA continues down. Well, now I'm glad I didn't chase our RHE. You know, I thought hard about it right around here. Held off. Look at CTRM. Oh. So the next on the weekly, 854. Yeah, that's the next high looking left, 854. BITA. BITA. All right, now for BGG, I'm going to stick an alert right around here, around 1065. See if I can get down to that level again. Spread is tightened, only 4 cents now. BITA is working here. BITA. Well, after the pop over 30, I mean, look at the pullback now for Pinterest. And huge volume, 2.5 million shares. That's why I don't take them early. All right, we're going to start looking at some of these earnings plays. These are the ones that are up right now. Bloomin' Brands, BLMN. This has a little bit of room. Nah, not that much room. It looks like there's a lot of resistance right around that 22 mark. So it's only 50 cents away. Look at it on the weekly chart. Look at it on the daily. You can see the same thing. Yeah, if it breaks down further, yeah. I'm looking at it, you know, breaking down. I mean, it's at an all-time, well, that's the all-time low now, but it's an earnings play. I'm just going to see if it takes this out again later on, especially if the market remains, well, it's hard to know what the market's, I mean, there's a big bottoming tail now. for the SPY, but if the market remains weak, if I remember the F chart last time, it sort of based a little bit and then just kept moving up and up and up and up. And listen, I'm not saying that's going to happen this time, all right? But obviously it has room. You know, I mean, there's a 200-day. It's underneath it, so it's above the 200-day, I should say. But I mean, it has room. Just because it did it the last time, though, doesn't mean it's going to do it this time. Yeah, it's a pretty big level for Tesla to be taking out, isn't it? The 250 mark. All right, EQT is it was an earnings play from yesterday. 2178. So I'm sticking an alert around 2178. It may not happen today, but boy, if it ever takes that out. Now, I'm not sure this is a true gap down. It might have been some reorganization. I'm not sure that's a true gap down. Type is another earnings play. Look at this one. Again, probably coming into some support right around that 16 mark. Just had no real volume in the pre-market. Didn't see it. All right, WDC, as mentioned in the pre-market, probably weak because of Intel. They've had some downgrades too. WDC underneath that 50 mark now. Big area for Canopy here, CGC, 50 level. Yeah, it's not an earnings play. I saw this in the pre-market. I saw it kind of just chopping around a little bit, but Corvo definitely on the weekly chart has some definitely has some room. Not an earnings play. I think it's got some downgrades. You can put that in the stock section, Lori. Yeah, Hexo. So something's putting a charge into the. Wow, look at this. Still, it has to get out of here. Whoops, has to get out of here. The cannabis index, ETF. Now, Ann is a AutoNation. Okay, good one. That is an earnings play. Just looking at it right here. Now, FET, little one. FET is an earnings play. 80 million in the float. Looking at some of these ones in the low floaters, anything's moving. Net's just triggered here, 234. Okay, so what I'm looking for some big voids for some of these. See if there's some big voids. You know, and not bad. AN. Too bad. The weekly, it's just a little extended on the weekly. But AZN, I mean, it is definitely looks a little better on the daily. Probably some support around about $1.20 or so away. Gaps, voids. So, you know, right, you look on the weekly chart for AZN right here. See I call it a void gap underneath. Yeah, PJ. Well, okay, guys. Now Ford is just now taking out the pre-market high. There's the after hours. It hit 235, 1035 yesterday. Hmm. All right, guys. I'm testing this one out. I've taken some Ford at 1028. I probably put about no more than an 8-cent stop on it. All right, and I'm going to see if this has any sort of continuation. Now, as I remember last time, though, I mean, it moved, but it did not hold. So, I'm just looking maybe to scalp this out. No, I'm not using, oh, for my stop? No, it's more basically the bottom of that, of the candle there, not the wick, but the base, that's all. Now, we're not going to get any help from the market right now, anyway. Another one that is falling here, PDD, not an earnings play. Cash is still inching its way up here. In BLMN, now look, some of the ones that are moving down. BYD, now that's underneath the whole number. BYD, earnings play. Carrizo, let's see, what are you doing? Carrizo is moving down. This, remember, oil was really strong earlier in the week. You can see right there, look what it hit, 12, 13, almost $14. These things are so whippy. So I'm not giving Ford that much more time, guys. I mean, if it doesn't start to move, I'm just going to get out. Don't like the way the market is, yeah, so. I know, you know, an earnings play should be trading on its own to a certain extent, but look, the market is just starting to gap down now, so. So I'm out. I took a 3-cent loss. Had to try it. I'll keep an eye on it if it takes out 1030 a little bit later. I'll just put an alert on it. But I think this is one of the, I mean, I know we always say that earnings plays can kind of trade on their own, but I think Ford is something that will probably track the market a little bit more than most earnings plays. It's my opinion anyway, so not going to go against the trend. Man, oh man, look at Superfly, look at Shutterfly, my goodness. I mean, this was way up, $46. Remember I was saying this looks like a fade market right now on that candle. Look at SFLY. Yeah, I know they had bad news, but I don't think that really mattered as much as what the market was doing, to be honest. If the news was that bad, it wouldn't have gapped up at all. You know, I mean, it's still up, it's up 9%, so that's my opinion. Yeah, a little bit of action for Visteon, VC. If you're trying to, Red, so put the the stocks in caps, please. Makes it easier to identify. Oops. All right, so this is how this is color coordinated, just so you understand. So this is green, means it's still up for the day, but it's fading. Okay, so if we're looking for fades right now, you know, stocks that are still up but fading, this is the way it's coordinated. As opposed to IMAX, as an example, is down for the day, but it's trying to recover. So look at BGG as an example, down for the day, but trying to recover. Because remember how I've shorted these in the position of the day's range. So easy come, easy go. I mean, look at the CTRM. I mean, my goodness. I mean, that hit 722. It's off $1 now. I mean, that's just a very huge percentage drop. That's why you cannot, you know, you can't buy these and then go walk the dog and expect it's still going to be up here. Well, you just open the charts. You just, you know, new chart. No, you just keep opening charts. You have up to 20 you can have. I mean, it's really, so just go new charts and then uncheck the symbol linking. The properties, uncheck the symbol linking so they don't change. So, you know, that's why they remain. Okay? Okay, guys, so F is right back. I mean, the market's putting in a couple of bottoming tails here. So, you know, I mean, if the SPY has any sort of resurgence, remember yesterday, and we had first 45 minutes, I think we were almost straight down. And after that, we had a big, big recovery all day. All right, guys. Well, what the heck? Got back into F at 10:31. Let's see. As long as if the market can, you know, put in a bit of a recovery. Yeah, Mattel is looking interesting. We got a big short float percent here. 50% of the float is short. What does that mean? A lot of people betting this is, obviously a weak stock. Interesting level for this EOLS. I think this is always well, that's not too bad. It's only a 10-cent spread or so. Yeah, I'm not looking for much in the F, okay? I'm just, well, yeah, Matt is not, it's not like it's a huge gap up. I mean, it's up $1, it's up 8% and all, but, I mean, I think if it had, kept moving, you might get a lot more of the short sellers maybe trying to cover, but it can hurt. Let's put it this way, it can hurt. Okay, sorry about that. I'm just answering an email. So Zine, yeah, I know Holly's shorting this. Too strong right now anyway. I say H is ringing in my ear. Okay, so the automotives, okay. Excuse me. All right, well, BGG is actually kind of in bounce mode now. Let's see if this holds or if it gives up 11 again. If it gives up, I'm sticking an alert underneath 11. See if it gives up 11 again. See if this is just sort of a momentary pull up. Rob, I know it's an earnings play. Okay, so I'm assuming Cuervo, you were looking to short real. I'm not even sure anymore, but it's starting to move around or pop up here. All right, just gonna make a slight change here so I can see a couple of the other columns, my other. Give me a second here. I just want to rearrange these just a little bit here so I can see. Okay. I just use my Interactive Brokers newsfeed, Darren. Simplest for me to use. You know, I just part of the IB. I mean, most brokerage platforms must have a newsfeed, but if yours doesn't, or if it costs or something like that, you can always do this. You just right click on a symbol, send to the web, and we have several right here that you can use, or custom, put in a website that you want to go to for news. You know, let's say if I go to Yahoo as an example, and if I check use symbol linking, and every time I click on an alert, I go to that symbol, okay? The reason I like IB is because I don't have to scroll at all. You know, so the other ones you have to scroll down to see the headlines. This I don't. So that's really the reason I use it. Is there a trick to getting my voice? Okay, let's make sure that you guys can hear me, right? Somebody's saying they can't hear me. All right, Juniper, Juniper. All you Donovan fans out there? No, I'm just going to get forward just a little bit longer here. I mean, I'm in at 10:31, so if it gets up to the high 30s, I'll just probably get out of it. I doubt if it's going to be very dynamic today. Now look at AVT here, guys. A nice break on the daily. A little bit of resistance coming in on the weekly here. Not that far away. I love having these weekly charts. As I'm continuing to watch EB here, I want to see if it can maintain this 23. It's an IPO from over here. Yeah, it gets back down to 1031 where I'm in, I'll just get out. Now this one, Viot, where are they out of? Yeah, it's a China stock. Yeah, it had quite a week last week. Volume is coming in here. Pins, guys, this actually looks like a bit of a short here. Wow, there it goes. Not a bit of one. Keep an eye on baby here. I mean, it's not very much volume. It is an earnings play, low float, 32 million in the float. If I look at the weekly chart, it has some room to about the 28.5 level. Holding, well, I don't know, maybe 27.50. I don't know. It might be a little too much to get through even at the 27.50. There's the couple of weekly candles right there. But the longer it holds 27, but it's fairly low volume. Lots of shorts at well, I shouldn't say lots. Let me see how many shorts at IB. Yeah, 700,000 shorts at IB for Pinterest. Oh, another interesting level for this TAL here, 37.91. Couple of weekly highs right there. Had earnings yesterday. I'm going to stick an alert there. All right, JMIA trying to come back here. Remember, we had last week hit almost 50. Trying to come back here. Interesting, JKB. Well, you can't hear me, unfortunately. Remember the little pop for MBRX? What a piece of whatever. All the hype. All right, guys, so on this little, see, Ford is not moving, and the market is starting to move higher here, so. Okay, I did not think it would be that dynamic, but I had to try. I did not want to, at the end of the day, say, man, I hit 10.7 and I missed out again. Did not want to say that to myself, that's all. No, JMIA on the move here. Boy, as is silk. I mean, there's the high. There's the 39.64. No, I hate trying to chase these things. It's not very much volume, but man, oh man. Pins getting weaker and weaker, PINS. All right. Little bit of a move. Gets into the 1040s, I'll be happy. All right, guys, keep an eye on this CNSL. I mean, this had the horrible day yesterday. I think it was an earnings play, and I think they cut their dividend. Let's see if this can move lower. I'm going to stick an alert at the low of the day, 549. That was just, if you take a look at on the 50, well, you can see right here. Step down, step down, step down. Had a little pop at the end, but maybe some covering, but my goodness, I mean, that was just, I mean, it started at 7 all the way down to 562. Great on a percentage basis. All right, so this is a reverse split. Now this is what they typically do. Well, I shouldn't say there's no such thing as typical anymore, but this is 125, 1 for 25 reverse split, moving down. I guess it's effective today. All right, well, there's a 2-bar pullback on the 15th for cash, testing that 26 level. Yeah, Brawley, 3, 4, 5 years ago and before that, I would absolutely agree. But we've seen too many of these reverse splits over the last, I don't know, 2 years that do astonishing things they never, ever, ever used to do. Well, this cube, if it can pop through that 32, get up, let's say 32.21, there's some weekly resistance. If it gets through that, has some room to the 33 level for cube. Take a report. I'm not sure. I mean, it's a browser, so yeah, if you don't want to detach it, I'm not sure. I mean, obviously you know this. I mean, it's just a browser, so you can make it bigger and smaller, but I'm not sure that answers your question. He's doing some work on the detached chat portion. When I say he, I'm talking about the developer of this trading room. Well, yeah, Martin, I mean, I've said this before, if these guys are smart, not just these guys, but anybody doing a reverse split, what they should be doing, they do the reverse split, and then maybe within a week, they come up with some whatever news, be it fluffy or whatever, but it just gets people into it. So 25 to 1. So that'll have about 7.5 million shares in the float then. Let's keep an eye on this EB, guys. I mean, the longer it holds this area. Oh, look at JMIA just continuing its move here. Well, I think all you have to do is you can find this, the sandwich, well, the three horizontal lines there. You guys have something like that. You just click on that and then you just attach it right here. Chat. You have your selections. I mean, that's it. There's not really a video required. Well, there's no question that there are games played on the reverse splits, but you know what was the other one today? Was it TS something or other? TS. Somebody mentioned it earlier. TST. So that's a 1 for 10. So that'll have 3.5 million in the float. And NAVB, that's right. I remember NAVB. Guys, JMA just keeps moving here, trying to regain its past glory of of last week. These are the type that, I mean, if you're going to take these and you're going to try to intraday trade them, you just almost can't take very many shares because they can be very whippy. You'll get stopped out all the time. You know, I mean, obviously, if it just keeps moving higher, it wouldn't happen, but. Okay, so the EB, I was a little bit hopeful that the EB would start to run here, but it doesn't look like it's going to. Well, I think they're assuming, if I can understand your question, Mikey, they're assuming that you have some leverage. You know, and most people have it, you know, probably 4-to-1 leverage. So I think if what you're saying is if you had $50,000, so you'd have 200,000 leverage, but you might be at 75,000, which is more than what you've got. Yes, but as long as you get out of all your positions intraday, you're fine. If I'm understanding what you're talking about. A 4-minute break. Yeah, well, I'm not too busy. I mean, really, just just in the forward right now. I did take another trade earlier, just for fun. I sort of broke my rules, kind of worked, but right now, just the forward. Yeah, I was a little reluctant to take that one on a short because they're just so strong right now. These IPOs have been so strong. All right, everybody. If you are brand new to this room, welcome to the room. This is what we do every Monday to Thursday. Monday to Thursday. I wish Monday to Friday. I open the room at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Get live on the mic at, well, I'll start to share my screen at 9 and get live on the mic at about 9:05. I go up to 3:30 Mondays to Thursdays and up to 3 o'clock on Fridays. I'm also streaming live on YouTube. I think you can see it. I think I put maybe in the subscriptions. Yeah, streaming live on. So if you click on the subscriptions, you'll see the YouTube feed. You want to use that. Don't use them together. Obviously, there's a slight delay on the YouTube feed, maybe about 10 seconds. So don't use them together. If you have trade ideas and you would like some of my scans, say you see some of the ones that I have on my monitor that I'm sharing, I have other scans and other monitors. Just click on this room drive icon. Looks like a half open folder, probably beside my name. Just click on that and scans that I share. You can click on the download and there are a bunch of links there. You can take a look at all the scans that I'm sharing. Hopefully they make sense. in terms of how I've labeled them. I'm going to go over the links. Talk about our subscriptions that we do have. So there's a promo code. There was a promo code. Okay, well, right here in the subscriptions, there's the promo code, Barry for Alpha, instant 15% savings off the first month. Okay, that promo is only good for the first month or the entire year of a Trade Ideas subscription. So let's take a look at what sort of subscription levels we have. So we've got a standard and a premium plan, all right? So the standard, $1068 a year minus that 15%, or the premium, $2268 a year minus that 15%. The big difference is Holly, AI. If you're unsure, you know, you're just being exposed to Trade Ideas for first time, do not take a yearly plan. You can always try us out. Standard monthly plan, $118 a month, less that 15%. These are not contracts, they're just month to month. Or the premium monthly, $228 minus the 15%. Again, that discount's only good for the first month. However, if you decide that you love us, you want to upgrade, say, from standard to premium, or from, by the way, DBVT is ringing in my ear. DBVT right there, 1012, trying to fill that gap. If within a month, so today's the 26th of April, if by May 25th you decide you'd like to upgrade from standard to premium, or from a monthly to a yearly plan, you can do so, and we'll honor that promo code. Now, again, if you're new and wondering about Trade Ideas, another thing you should really consider, signing up for the test drive. This starts on May the 6th, so it's a week this coming Monday. You'll get 5 full trading days with our premium service. It'll cost you $8.99, all right? It is not a subscription or anything like that. Once the test drive is over, it's over. If you decide you want to take out a subscription, you know, we'll give you a promo code and all that, but you're not automatically put into a subscription. You don't have to do anything. Once it's over, it's over. We get that question a lot. You know, what happens when it's over? When it's over, it's over. Also, if you have our standard package and you'd like to try our premium, you can do so. Same sort of thing. And nothing happens to your standard package. You don't lose any of the scans or anything like that. So, and again, it's the same thing. We don't put you into a premium service once it's over. It's your decision, okay? And let me just go over Brokerage Plus, which is going to be undergoing a bit of a change together with Holly later on. $1,100 minus that 15%. It's a one-time fee. And this is what Brokerage, just a second, this is what Brokerage Plus looks like. So a one-time fee, what I mean by that, so it's $1,100 minus the 15%, a one-time licensing fee. So what that means is if you ever unsubscribe for Trade Ideas and then come back, Brokerage Plus is already bought and paid for. It's still there available for you, okay? This is what it looks like. So right now, to use Brokerage Plus, and listen to me very carefully, you do need an interactive broker's account and our premium service. All right, we are looking to add more brokerage platforms. I cannot tell you which ones or when that might happen, but right now only works with Brokerage Plus. So it's on its simplest level. This is a great order entry tool, bypassing the way you would use the IB order entry. You know, just click on an alert. Of course, it's going to load in here. You can pick how many shares you want. This is on a manual basis, of course. Pick how many shares you want. Here is the bid and ask will be here, and you just click and trade it. Shows up in your window, of course. If you are an active trader, somebody who has 8, 10 positions open at a time, great way to manage your trades. We have some hotkeys here for you. You can get out of a position with a flatten, get out of half a position. You can double your position. You can reverse, go from long to short or short to long. But if you're going to do this, please be completely aware of what the spread is. Second level of use would be you click on an alert. You say, yeah, I want to trade that. You can set up buying and shorting parameters ahead of time. Basically, you would just click how you want to trade it. And again, it'll show up. Next level, I'd call this very advanced. Most of our customers do not do this, but if you want to create your own strategy and backtest it, and with our backtesting tool, and you're very, very confident that every time a symbol showed up, you want to auto trade it, you can do so. And I know I go over, you can auto trade Holly, but I wouldn't advise it, to be completely honest. But if you're, determined that you want to do it, then just give me a second here. I would encourage you to watch this video, Managing Your Expectations of Auto Trading Holly. Okay? Watch that video before you dive into auto trading Holly. You can get a description of what Holly's all about right here, description of all the Holly strategies that we have, training, Monday to Thursday at noon Eastern, webinars, Monday to Thursday, 5 Eastern. These are all archived. You should have the latest version of Trade Ideas. Help, About will tell you which you have. You should have 4.2.74. You can download a demo here. I do a daily video between 1:15 and 1:45 every day. I've gone over Brokerage Plus. Trade of the Week, sent to you before the market opens every Monday morning. Here's how you can have all 3 Hollies open at once if you have our premium service. But this is going away. I don't know when, but we're going back to having just one Holly. I lobbied hard for that, and I'm not saying I was the only voice, but they will be doing that. I can't tell you exactly when that's going to happen. So this will be defunct. All right, guys, during all that, I am out of the Ford. Got out at 10:38, so no great shakes there. 7 cents on that one. So basically, kind of a wash for both those trades. All right, the developer, shoot, I have to, so PetX is a buyout. Okay, PetX is a buyout. What you have to really do is search on the news. I mean, it couldn't have been that hard, but it is. Announces agreement to acquire. All right. Well, there'd be no action because, why is there going to be any buying activity? Sort of. RST, sort of. The Halts resumes has an interesting quirk about it. Well, so what happens is if it's an IPO, it shows up as a resumes. Okay, there's no halt, of course, but it just shows up as a resume. That's about, I would say, 95 out of 100 times that's going to happen. Okay? And the halts resumes is you can have that. that is part of, if you go into the folder here, you'll see, again, scans that I share, that's one of them. It's just an interesting quirk. Now, the other thing you can do, is go to the earnings, to the IPO calendar. It's a little exciting next week to see the IPOs for next week. And here's a link for IPOs. And in that link, just go to the IPO calendar. You'll see it right there. Go to the IPO calendar, the ones for next week, so you can be prepared for them. No, that's not good. All right, just a second here. Yeah, it's one of those stupid quirks about Windows. Every now and then when you move something in and out fast, that's what happens. So just give me a second here. I have to close off some of these windows. Actually, it wasn't so bad. I have a couple other programs that I have to get up and running. Well, Tiger is certainly coming back here. All right, so this one, this GNLN, what's the volume like? It's not terrible, but this one is weak. This is not rebounding like a lot of the other IPOs. IPO'd last week. So there's, choppiness in the SPY. You can see right now, I mean, there's the first 15, two 15-minute candles, the pop-up. There's a little bit of choppiness in the SPY. Now, what would be great to see is just a trend one way or the other. Like yesterday, we had this beautiful trend. Just to remind everybody, you see that with the SPY at 10 o'clock. Now, it's past 10 today, of course, but